Oh, that's not how I wanted to do that. Hey, we're going to walk through the closing in of the vessel, the shutter plank. Last plank going in. This is where we are on the port side. It's upside down. This is where we are on the starboard side, down to the shutter plank, or the steeler plank in model lingo. We call this a steeler plank. Comes to a sharp, fine point on each end. I use the steeler method all the way through. One plank up, one plank down. Turn it around, do it again. So I'm putting in these other last couple planks, and getting up to the shutter plank or the steeler plank on this side, also known as the whiskey plank in the shipyard for the party that followed the shutter plank fitting when the vessel was shut in. See, the decks are done. Main deck, I still got something to do on the forecastle head, but I need to see in there. Poop deck, main deck, that's all done. So I got that done, then turned her over and started planking. I'm maybe a month. I started the whole thing on January 9th. So today's the 25th of March. So 2.5 months in. And so we'll just walk through the final fittings of getting closed in here. And thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Okay, this side is a fraction off from the other side. The other side, 3 planks fit in there. Perfect. And room for the 4th one to be perfect. This one, 3 fits in, but it's just a little bit thinner. So I'm trying to think where I might make that up. Either down here. Oh, everything's falling on the floor. With a smaller 1/8" hull plank. I did most of this hull with a 3/16 planking. It actually, the plans call for a lot of it to be 1/8" planking. I went with 3/16 pretty much all the way, except in a few places. So I have quite a lot of the 1/8" planking left. But anyway, I'm just trying to decide where I'm gonna make that up. I might put that one in first, the 1/8" one. Use an 1/8" wide planking. And that should give me a tight fit for a 3/16" planking for the steeler in the middle at the top. But like I say, it's a fraction off, so this side's going to be a little shorter. The steeler shutter plank, steeler plank is going to be shorter on this side than the opening over there, because just a hair off. So not sure why that is, but it is. So I'm just looking at this 1/8" plank. You carry your uncut piece, fit it. I carry it right out over the V where the 2 planks come together. Okay. Whoops. Drop my pencil. Okay. First thing I usually do is I make a mark right here where they come together. Reference. That's where, because you can't see exactly quite where you should be, and you want it to be pretty damn close. Okay, so we set the bitter end, the butt end of the plank on there. Sorry, talking rigging, not planking. And we put a mark there. That's where it starts to come out. And we hold that tight all the way down to the other end. Okay, and want to make sure we don't move the plank. And we got our reference mark here. Oops. Let's make the vise a little tighter. Come on, tighten up. We got our reference mark. We transfer that over the plank. And right where the existing plank starts coming out, we mark that. So the first thing we do, I take my nippers. You can use your X-Acto, whatever you want. I use these for this kind of thing because it's quick and easy. Bing, bang. All right, now I know that my taper is going to be from 0, the bottom end, to here. That's what we need tapered off of there. So I take these, I start at 0, as close to 0 as I can. Eye it. Make sure you're not taking too much off. Get the bottom right. Line up your nip so it nips right at your line. Nip that off. You can take your, I use these little emery boards. These things. For sanding board. They're nail files. They're the foam nail files. Black ones. They're gritty on one side and fine on the other. Okay. I actually use it down flat. Taper my end so it goes down to pretty much nothing. Don't take too much off because you want it to fit. Okay. And that's going to slip in there like that. Now we do the same thing over here. Start on the line. Where you may bring it down to 0. Nip that off. It gives you a nice fine cut. These are great. Those are reasonably new. I've had some old ones. Well, I have a couple pairs of them. Okay, then just a little bit of a, bring it down to a fine point so it's going to fit in there. Like that. Turn it over. I'm running the straight line because it's easier right now. This one, if I wanted to turn it over, it would still fit, and I could go this way. But I think I want to work it the other way. Because it fits easier, it fits more fair, less bend. And these two shutter planks will be in the same place on each side. So that's what basically what we want. Okay, so that's a pretty good fit right there. All right. Quick nip fit, nothing glued or even, you know, no glue, no fasteners yet. Okay. That's a pretty good fit. That's how you fit that. Then you pull it down. You can do this. I use these clamps, the bar clamps. We don't really need it. You can do this with your thumb while you fasten it, but it pulls them down. Pulls your planking down next, you know, tight with the other one. You want everything fair. Now these aren't glued yet. I'm just sort of showing you how you do that. Then take your pliers and a fastener. See? Nail. And you put your nail in on each one, but I'm just checking the fit right now and showing you how we're doing that. I'm going to still pop that plank out because we got to put some glue in behind it. Keep these handy. And now let's just check while that's dry fit. 1, 2, 3. Where's the third one? Let's just make sure my planking calculations are correct. 1, 2, and at the widest part, it's going to be right about there. Let's pull this ahead a little bit. That's going to be fair down to there. That's all tight. That's tight. This should fit right there exactly. Yes, it does. That's our widest point. Okay, perfect. All right. All right. We'll do that on the bottom. Station break. Okay. So, we got a nice fit, tight fit. There's nothing holding that plank in yet except the 2 tapered ends right here. You see my reference marks? And I showed you how we did that. Okay, we're going to pop that out. We're going to get a little tight bond glue going over here. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on each bulkhead. Coming out slow. I left it open last night. Going to squeeze some right in there. We want to try and get a little top and bottom all the way in the taper. Get a little glue up in there. We'll edge glue a little bit. I don't have to make a big mess or anything, just get a little glue out, a little wood glue. Clean the nozzle again. It's actually a little more controlled this way. I'm flying out, leaking all, running all over the place. Okay, again, a little edge glue in the taper down here. Looks like the end is going to get right on the last frame right there, so that's good. Come on, glue, get up there. There we go. All right. Now we're going to put a little glue on the taper. Little along the lower edge, just touch a little. Inside, on the taper, on the bottom of it. Okay. Fasteners out. All right. Starting aft. Push it right up into the V. There we go. Ooh, got some leaky glue over here. That's what we don't want. Running down the side and making a mess. It's okay. You got wood glue, and this gives you, you know, I'm not a real big advocate of. I will use it, but I'm very careful about where and how I use it. Super glue. For wood, I pretty much use Type Bond, water soluble wood glue. Whoops, this is a smaller plank, so not quite as much width to put that nail in, so gotta hit it right. This is the only and fastest way I know how to fasten these little brass nails. There is another video that I did earlier. Some of these planks I actually did put trunnels in. In fact, here's a leftover trunnel right there, laying up there. And they come out just like bungs, and the trunnels are good and trunnels are strong. I went back over to brass because it's faster. This is faster, and in the long run, in the very long run, I think that these brass nails will last longer than a trunnel fasten. And as I said in one of my previous videos, I like to think down the road. You know, I've been restoring models for a long time, antique model ships, and I'm talking antique model ships that are older than me by a long shot. I just did one before this past Christmas for our friend, and ooh, what you don't want to do is mess up that planking. The plank itself, you gotta be careful. Some of these bulkheads are hard to get a pin in. Other ones, they go in like it's a pin cushion. I don't know. Anyway, what I was saying is I try to look down the road. I restored one before Christmas for our friend, and you know, the model was 95 years old. Was it 1930s? Flying Cloud, sister ship to this one that I'm doing here. It's actually sort of what got me started on this one. I haven't done a wooden clipper ship till now. Okay, you see got my nice taper here. That's fitting right in. I squeeze that glue out. Squeeze a little of that out there. Push it in the seams. Don't be afraid to use your thumb. It's not like super glue. You're not going to be sitting here going to the doctor with your thumb stuck to a model hanging off your hand. Anyway, so, you know, I don't know where this model's going to wind up after I'm long gone, but okay, this we want in here. This You just got to sort of do it in line with the other ones that are there. Try not to split anything. I think we need to go right there. Right there. Oh. Right there. Oh, that's going in. Ow. Hey, that's one of those hard ones I'm talking about. And so was this one. Already bent that a little. There we go. Just carefully push them in. Try not to wreck the planking or anything. Don't hit them down too hard. It's a small soft plank, so just tap them in. You know, with this we can probably be better off to take all-purpose nippers, and on this small plank we're going to nip these heads of the nail off. You don't need to squish the plank with the nail head. Putting them in, that'll hold. You need one back aft. These are small and it's hard to see, but cut those off. It's a fine little, oops, that one's not cut off yet. That's a nice narrow little plank, and sorry about my chair, it's all over the place. Okay, nip those off. Then I take the ball peen side of the hammer, just tap them in there lightly, just peens the head a little bit of the brass, and they kind of go away. A lot of them I've left the heads on where they have a tendency to want to spring out. I have a couple of those hammers. I have another one here that's got a plastic, steel and a plastic head. This one's got a little more heft. And no plastic on the second one, on the heavier one. Okay. Alright, so what do? We do the same thing here. Reference marks, essentially left over, a little ahead of the other. Again, here, reference. Take a piece of wood long enough. Now we're going back to 3/16 wide. Okay. Line your end up on your reference line. Okay, this goes from 0 up to here. There's your taper. That's what we're cutting off. All right, hold it in place. Don't let it move. Down to the other end. Transfer your reference mark. First one. That's 0 to right there. We want this taper to go to right there. We want those to line up. We want all these to line up. And we put it back in, okay? All right, without going into a big production and, you know, using an X-Acto knife, you know, I can do that. We can lay it down here and cut it, you know, but I try to give it a good eye. Start there where I want my taper to end. Try to take a straight shot down to 0, just like that. Okay, that's going to go in there like that. That's almost lined up there, see? All right. This we know. We're going to leave the line here. This end. This goes from 0 to there, so I'm going to... This side gets a little tricky because I'm right-handed. But I don't want to split the plank. Anyway, I'm going to start at 0 and hope we don't split it. I'm going to do a little start taper there. Right there. That's going to line up there. That's going to fit in there. Okay. All right, what's holding that in right now? Friction. There's a good fit. Okay. Could make the next one now. It's sort of fun to do it as we go along, isn't it? All right, there's a good fit, see? Gives us one more and then a shutter plank. One more and one more and a shutter plank. That's where we're going to end up for the shutter plank, right there. Okay. It's very, very close. So it was good that we put the 1/8 inch plank in there to make up our discrepancy. That's perfect. All right, let's pop it out. Glue and fasten. It's going to be close. Get out a little bit. Ooh. There you go. That right there. Put some up in our taper there. We don't mind if it dribbles down the inside. Just do a little bit of edge glue. Move that down. Just a little like that. All right. A little on the plank. It's okay. What happened? Did I do it wrong? Push that up in there, get that back in there. This is where we use the plastic head. Don't want to damage the wood. All right, let's get some fasteners in this thing. Quick. Where's my... Okay. Fasteners out. Let's start on our first full width of plank on the first frame. Start with that. I'm going to leave that head on, hold that down. I don't dare put one in there. It wouldn't look good anyway. Okay. Down tight against the plank next to it. Fastener in there. Okay. Just get them in there. They're fastened down. That's one of the hard ones again. Come on, baby. Bending that. Let's see what a hefty sledge will do. I'm going to let that head stay there because that was a little, had some space between it and the frame. I could see the glue squeeze out. So it was up off the bulkhead a little. Sorry, I keep calling them frames, but they're really, this is a plank on bulkhead. Okay, so and this is basically, you know, this has been the drill all along. People ask me, oh, you know, is everything pre-cut and all pre-fit and all? No. It's a bag of wood. And some of it's pre-cut, obviously. The bulkheads and that kind of thing. You got to cut them out of the master sheet that they send you. Put it all together, but you know, you got to fit your own planking. You got to make your own spars. You got to, you know, they give you the dowel. They don't give you anything that looks like a mainmast that's all done. You got to do it all yourself. That's, you know, a model kit saves you a number of steps from 100% scratch built model. Obviously, there's a bag of hardware supplied, but everything wood, you pretty much got to build yourself. You got to build your own deck houses and, you know, the whole show. Yeah, build it. Okay. This is the next one. That's in the wrong place. Another hard one. Jesus. There we go. That, I'm going to leave that head on that one too. Holding that plank in. Yeah. One more. In the fat of the beginning of the taper. Which is right here. Good. Leave the head on that. I want that to hold that. Okay. Getting close. One away from the shutter plank. Otherwise known as the whiskey plank. Did I say that before? Probably. For the party that follows the shutting in of the vessel. Shutter plank, shutter party. Okay, we're going to fit this one. Last of the hull planks before the shutter. I've already marked it. Aft, forward, taper. Marked my taper where it goes. Take that. We want to take that down to 0. Ooh, look at that. Same thing here. That. That. Okay. See how we get for fit. That needs a little sanding board here. Sand that down to 0. Don't take too much off. That's aft. Forward. How's it fit? Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Okay. Glue. Put on taper. Good. Taper. Good. Glue on each bulkhead. There we go. Aft out. Okay, let's get some in there. Over there. Edge. Let's go let that sit for just a second. Just let that get a little bit tacky there. We don't have to go too fast. Alright, let's get a fastener in there though. That's a good fit. Came up on its line. Okay. Get that glue off of there. The tough one, look at that. Glue squeeze it out. Put that down in there. Glue on my hands here. We got our fit down in there. That's good. That's good. That down there. The fastener up here. Right there. Yeah. Swear to God, I drop as many of these things as I get in the boat. There we go. That one just hit my shoe. squeeze out of there. Yes, sir. That in. That's holding good. That's good. We're just gonna some of these need fasteners yet. I'll go down each one. Fasteners where there aren't any. All right, now, while we can, let's clean this out. Get the glue out of there so our next plank will go in. Okay. We're down to the steeler. Longboard. No glue in there. Want that next plank to seat in there flush. It's going to be all taper. All right. And we stand by. Okay, so we're up to the shutter plank, or in ship model talk in this shape, in steeler plank, which essentially is the shutter plank on a real ship. There we are, down to one plank each side, and when those are in, the vessel will be shut in. Main deck's done, poop deck's done. And all but the last two shutter planks, or what we call in ship model lingo the steeler planks, which are still the shutter planks because they're the last ones to go in. And so I think that we'll end that video here. The two steeler planks we'll put on the next video coming up. Cheers. I hope these help some of you. And again, it's, you know, I sort of have my own way, but came out okay, I think, so far. Needs a good sanding, fairing. Some of the whales still need fasteners. I'll go down each line of fasteners and make, you know, there's one missing, there's one, this whale's got some missing. Anyway, there we are, flying fish. All but the shutter planks, port and starboard, are in, and almost shut in. So we'll do the steeler planks in the next one, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Captain Pete, and I hope that some of this helps somebody somewhere. And cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.